Last we left off, Riker lay dead on the floor after defeating the Beholder. Sammy successfully obtained the Echo of Netheril, and upon reading research notes detailing how to reverse small knife wounds on extremities, he immediately attempted to resurrect Riker, who had been patiently waiting after being judged by Kelemvor in the City of the Dead. As Riker quietly sat on a bench writing in his journal, he was suddenly yanked back into the world of the living. In doing so, Sammy unknowingly sealed his own fate. Unable to properly wield the artifact's immense power, he discovered his life would now be forfeit to the small obsidian obelisk within a mere 9 days. With Riker revived, the group hastily made for the exit, noticing that the magic sustaining the ancient ruins was rapidly failing. Debris began to collapse under the immense weight of the sand pressing down from above. After narrowly escaping, you convinced Arceus's parents that your mission was their mission was complete by presenting a chunk of the pedestal that once held an Echo of Netheril, etched with ancient Netherese runes. Arvind Haas quickly conjured a teleportation circle, transporting you all back to Suzail. Upon arrival, he promptly ordered the guards to arrest Raykrana and Arston for desertion during wartime. Despite numerous protests, one of which came from Herc, who loudly proclaimed, "What a fumble, man." The arrested were escorted to their homes rather than prison, as the city was not only under siege, but also grappling with an outbreak. The infected citizens were quarantined in the prisons, and this prompted a citywide lockdown. You then met with the Queen and were provided accommodations in the royal guest quarters. Meanwhile, Arvind Haas and Ganra Haas urgently began working on a solution involving the Echo of Netheril. We resumed the session in a large, ornately decorated room where Sammy had just finished scrying on Quintus and his mother. He witnessed Quintus' transformation into a hulking fungal monstrosity, and also saw his mother taking shelter in the Evening Star Barracks, comforting his siblings amid the siege presumably brought on by the fungal threat. The setting sun streams through the western-facing curtains. Is there anything that you all would like to do before taking a long rest?
And I get a witness. My name is Quintus.
I think I did all I wanted to do.
Sammy would probably petition whomever to... Nope, actually, I still got all the shit in my ring, so never mind. Sammy petitions nothing.
Gotta use that slow to do anything.
Nope. Didn't get the opportunity to.
Yep.
It's fine. Got a whole new adventuring day ahead of us.
I think we had our moments last session, so I don't have anything to add.
We're having a
right
shopping.
Not before we sleep,
you had tried. You had tried. It said that you might want to, but it was discussed that due to the city being under lockdown, it would be incredibly difficult to the shops just aren't going to be open. But you could certainly try if you would like to. But if nobody else has anything else that they would like to do for the evening, you all settle in. Do you set up watches, or do you feel comfortable inside of the castle? You are currently...
When you phrase it like that, I don't know if we feel comfortable now.
On the map, you are currently at number 1.
I feel comfortable.
Yeah, I feel comfortable too.
Where is number 1?
Right in the middle of the big old greenery.
Now, where is the closest sign of hostilities at? Do we have an idea? Or could we procure that information from some of the guards that happen to be on site?
You can attempt to, if you would like. How do you want to go about trying to gather that information? You're up pretty
first
high.
I would ask really nicely.
Here's a map of the city. Here's this red crayon. Just shade over all the areas that are.
Currently being sacked. No, I'd
Right.
probably ask nicely first, and because we've been out of the town for a hot minute, and I'd probably use some line about how we're eventually going to head to the front, needing to know where the hot zones are, so to speak, would be helpful in that. And if that doesn't help, then Dead Man's got no use for any coins, so he'll slip a couple of lions to try to loosen the lips of the.
Yeah, the guards aren't going to withhold any information. As you peek out of the door, you can see down the long corridor a couple guards patrolling the area, just doing their rounds. Just coming up to them, they greet you politely, looking rather disheveled, and as you ask where the current threats are, one of the guards, most of the threats within the city have been eliminated or quarantined. All of the infected have been placed into the prisons, and as far as we're aware, no fully transformed beasts have been able to make it through our perimeter walls. We've been fighting them off at the gates, and we've got manned reinforcements along the tower, archers on the battlements and in the towers around the city.
Well, that's good and all. What's the system in which, if for whatever reason the walls are breached, that the city will be alerted?
Well, there's been several attempts. Fungal creatures coming from the fields, attempting to ascend our walls or come through our gates. Jester's Green was hit the hardest, and some of our fields we lost citizens there, but from an alert standpoint, you would just hear bells. Loud bells would begin ringing throughout the city.
To know then. The ports are safe. There's nothing coming in through that way.
From our latest report, we don't know why. We've got naval military along the harbor looking for any threats to come ashore, and we haven't seen any even attempt to make it by water. So whether or not it's a weakness of theirs or they just choose not to, we don't know. But so far the harbors are safe.
Thank you. If there were a means to acquiring equipment to move on these creatures, where would one be able to get that?
I'm not sure I follow. To move on the creatures, you mean like horses or a mount?
Just equipment.
Equipment to
bolts,
face them?
arrows. Yes.
Oh. Readily available at any of the gates. It's the main entrances or the towers. And the first floor, barrels of arrows and bolts for the archers to use and refuel. They're refueled 4 times daily.
Thank you. And then I'll probably just go back and let them all know.
Okay.
So far, nothing's gotten through, and the city itself is more or less safe. Those that have shown sign of infection seem to have been imprisoned within the city. Those prisons are right by us, aren't they?
No. I mean, the prisons that are probably wanted to keep Raykrana and Arson were going to be within the overall castle walls. But those are for different prisoners. The prison is actually, I believe it's 52 on the map in the southeast corner. I'll see if I can ping you guys there.
Yeah, I saw it.
Which is right on the outside of the wall of the main Purple
Barracks?
Dragon Knight barracks and their fleet.
Yeah. Thanks for confirming. Yeah, that was what we were told when we arrived.
There's part of me that, I don't know, maybe I'm just getting paranoid, but it might be safest to set up a watch anyway.
I suppose I'm not opposed to that.
Man, here I was looking forward to a full night's sleep. I can take first watch.
I can
I'm in
take
the
second.
bath. I'm not part of this.
Herc's in the bath.
I'll
You
take
peer
third.
over to the bathroom area, the door kind of creaked halfway open. Herc in the tub, his leg sticking over the edge. You can see his grayish foot just kind of dangling.
Is there not a group? Is there not like a group bath situation at the castle, or not? Or
I mean, in your room, no.
Okay.
I mean, there
So it's
are
just-
like bathhouses. This is a large. The tub could probably fit 4 individuals
okay.
I
comfortably.
think you offered to have us bathe with you, and we've all declined.
Yeah.
I didn't
Politely.
hear any no's. I just it seemed like everybody just seemed to ignore it, so that's fine.
Yeah, it's our polite decline.
I see Herc's probably very hairy legs stick out from the bath, and Riker turns around and just says, I'll take fourth watch.
Not to get too into detail, Herc, are you a natural man, or do you shave your legs and arms to be more
Probably
beautiful?
Or wax.
Or
Probably shave, probably,
yeah.
You get smoother if you waxed. It also hurts more.
but maybe it's been a while. It's been 2 weeks.
Definitely some stubble piercing
I
through.
wonder if participation could take care of that for you.
That's a good question.
Let me consult.
These are the D&D questions that we just have to know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, no, the desert. We had like a pool at the desert. I could have done it there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Vokudu would have given you, or you would have probably already even had your supplies.
Traded some grooming tips. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not specific in the spell. It's just one of those things where it's like it's just close enough.
Mm-hmm.
Can it add hair?
It can have the illusion of hair.
Anyways. Okay, who had first watch? Arsis did, if I remember correctly. Go ahead and give me perception.
Okay. At 29.
Very, very perceptive. Taking the moment to
Awkward being inside. I hear every noise in the castle. Like the walls are too thin. I hear our neighbors. Anybody walking by.
yeah,
Anybody playing outside.
yeah. Definitely hearing the echoes of the plate armor strolling through the castle walls. Hearing it echo off of the stone and coming into your ornate room. Even visiting some of the windows and stepping out onto the balcony, seeing what's going on in the city as the night kind of the darkness consumes the light. You look out and you can see on the promenade magical glowing lanterns illuminating the pathways. You see patrols of 4 Purple Dragon Knights and a War Wizard coming about in intervals every half hour. You don't see any civilians. The city appears to be extremely locked down. Even looking around in the buildings on the south side of the promenade, the non-noble district, you don't see any lights in any of the windows. Everything seems dark, but uneventful.
All right. So when Ardu wakes up, I guess Rin said second watch. So she'll wake up Rin. She'll find like a chaise lounge or something and curl up, and Ardu will curl up, kind of like behind her knees and sleep there for the warmth. His lizard.
Cute.
Miss Rin, for your watch, go ahead and give me a perception check.
All right, I'm gonna roll it in my D&D Beyond and then just pop it into. Oh God, where's the?
I might
Sorry.
even.
That's right. You're not in your place right now.
Yeah. Well, that.
Had you been here on a time, you would have
there we
heard the
go.
conversation about the traveling.
22.
Okay, so that was a 22.
Yeah, I've got D&D Beyond pulled up, so when you roll it, I'll be able to see it.
Yeah, for sure.
Not
just
that I
figured
don't trust
everyone
you.
can see it this way.
For sure. So with the 22 perception, with a 22 perception, you overhear a conversation, voices in the hallway, one group of guards calling to another. You can hear their hasty footsteps coming from the opposite side of the corridor, rushing down, and then you hear the murmurs. They've got a prisoner. Somebody was caught trying to sneak in. They're interrogating them in the basement. We need to be extra careful tonight. Do you do anything with that information in the moment?
In the moment, no, but in the morning, she'll probably talk to someone about that.
Okay. The rest of your night goes by uneventful. Or rest of your watch, rather.
Yeah.
Feel free to... Who took third watch?
Sammy.
Sammy.
Okay, cool. Before Rin goes to bed, then
Yeah.
she will tell Sammy what she overheard.
Of
shouldn't have
course
done
you
that.
would.
Of course you would.
Look, he's dying. He might as well go sneak around and do whatever shit he wants to.
Oh, shit. All right. Well,
Just thought you might be interested to hear that information.
I guess, well, thank you for, giving me the heads up.
I'm sorry about what's happening to you. I wish there was something that we could do for you.
You know what, let's not dwell on that too much. Let's just, worry about what we can do in the here and now, and then, go from there.
That's a very mature response, Sammy.
There's not much else I can do. So,
Well, have a safe watch. I am exhausted.
yeah. You get some rest.
Thanks.
And when I see her tuck herself in, I'm going to go to the door and listen if I hear anything.
Okay, give me a perception check.
Do 17.
It's going gnome hunting.
You listen to the door, having even heard infiltrating your dreams or your sleep, the echoes of the footsteps in the armor, echoes bouncing into the room. But for right now, when you listen, it's quiet.
Well, we're not prisoners in here, so I'm just gonna open the door and begin walking about like I belong in the place.
Okay. Where is your aim?
First, to find out if there is a basement in this area, and to try to walk around in the spot and see if I can make my way down said basement without attracting too much attention by avoiding people and generally being sneaky.
Let me peep at your character sheet. Do you have anything that makes you good at remembering the layouts of cities or buildings or anything like that? From a history or anything? I know rogues sometimes do that
Layouts
shit,
of
or
buildings
thieves.
and whatnot, but knowing the
No, it's the
so I
urchin
had
background.
Is it urchin?
the urchin.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sammy, you're
No.
not an urchin, are you?
I am an urchin.
Oh, you are an urchin? Okay.
I
All
am
right.
an urchin.
All right. I will say, knowing from where you teleported in at, and kind of seeing the layout as you were coming out to meet the queen, you would have a general idea of where you would suspect the dungeon would be. As when you did teleport in, it was in one of the lower levels, and you did take some stairs to get up. So I would say you have a general idea of where you think it might be. If you intend to make your way down that way, I would say go ahead and make me a stealth check.
Come the fuck on.
I mean, 11 still is not horrible.
Yeah, you make it down the corridor to the stairs, the spiral staircase that led you up to the royal guest quarters, crossing in front of the Queen's Chambers, or the, I don't know why I keep calling it the Queen's Chambers, the throne room entrance, and back towards one of the halls that you ascended when you first came in. And you get pretty far before you encounter your first set of guards on either side of a grand archway. You, while contemplating another route, deciding to kind of like veer off into another door as you go to try a handle, making enough noise for the guards to be able to hear something and politely inquire, "Hey, what are you doing out and about in the castle these hours?"
I'm just so utterly lost in this place. Restless night and the siege and everything, and just...
He comes over to you, his weapon lowered in a non-threatening position, even kind of leans it up against the wall, the spear that he was holding. Puts an arm on your shoulder. "I get it, it's a tough night for everyone.
How long have you been guarding this area?
The last 10 years?
So you're pretty familiar with everything in the city then, aren't you?
Yes, we were required to know all patrol routes, but I've been primarily in the castle for at least 8 of those 10 years.
Hmm.
What are
They
you
must,
looking for? I can take you there.
I'm just looking around. I wandered into the wrong spot eventually. Just trying to get my mind off of everything in the area. Thinking about my friends out there. Thinking about my family. Have you heard of anything from Monroe?
You have family in Monroe?
Aye.
It's not good. I don't know specifics. All I know is they're thinking that that's one of the points of origination, and the people there, well,
I mean, has there been any refugees that have come from the city?
there have.
And where would they be kept?
Listen, I'm probably not the best person to be telling you this information. I don't know. I don't have a way with words.
Well, I mean, yeah, you've been in the castle proper for the better part of a decade. I mean, you probably standing guard over some treasure or something like that in that room.
Some treasure? I thought we were talking about Monroe.
Oh no, I'm talking about your position tonight. I mean, they've got to trust you to be within the same castle, the same position for 8 years. I mean, I'd appreciate any information about Monroe, but no, I understand that you're probably watching guard over something important behind those doors.
Majority of the refugees that were showing symptoms were sent to the prisons, immediate quarantine. Some of them that showed extreme symptoms our mortician has been working tirelessly on trying to figure out how to cure it. But we don't have magic or potions strong enough to remedy their abnormalities. Let me just say, we did what we thought was most humane.
Their bodies, then. Where are you keeping them?
There's a burn pit just west of Suzail. Far enough away that no risk of contamination to the air. But we haven't done so since we've come under siege, so the last 3 or so days we haven't had time. Everybody's been in lockdown. So the corpses just rot in the fields as they're slain.
I think I'll just go back the way I came. The idea of being out sounds less appealing now.
Listen. And he leans in really close. In the event that you hear bells, stay away from the Horn Gate. You would know from session 1 that the Horn Gate is the northwestern gate, the gate that you all left on your first day together. And then he gives you a gentle pat on the back. For your sake, I hope your family is at peace now. Maybe at least you can find some comfort in that. And he pats you on the back and waits for you to walk off.
I'll walk away and just kind of look over my shoulder. I assume he would probably go back to his post.
That is correct.
I'd probably look for a darker spot that is more or less on the path, and stay there for about 10-15 minutes.
Okay.
See if he or the other guy leaves. But in the meanwhile, I'll probably pull out probably pull out the Orb of the Wraith. Just kind of play around with that for a moment. Maybe not unwrap it, but just think to myself, well, I've got nothing else to lose. So what's the worst that can happen if I stare into this thing?
Okay.
And if 15 minutes goes by and I don't hear anything or see anything, I'll probably make my way back.
Unfortunately, the guards do stand post. Both of them standing on either side of the doorway. Nobody coming out, nobody going in. You can see other patrols going up the stairs where you came from, but you're hidden enough in the shadows that they don't spot you, nor do they really suspect you to be there to begin with. But I'll say for the sake of ease, you're able to stealthily make your way back to your quarters.
I'll quietly enter the room and for the rest of my shift contemplate the orb.
Yeah, probably not much time left. Navigating the halls quietly, waiting around. Probably spend about a half hour with the orb. Similar to any other time that you've looked at it, the energy seems a little chaotic at times, but still dim. You don't feel anything tugging at you. outside of any internal, I don't know, introspection that you might have about life in this moment.
Or death.
Or death, yes.
Okay.
On life.
On death.
Don't forget.
And then, was it Herc or Riker that was up next? Just out of curiosity.
Riker would be
Riker.
next.
Riker's next? Okay.
Yeah, Herc was ignoring us in the bath.
Yeah, he got his beauty sleep.
He was waiting for somebody to show up.
I'm not ignoring you.
Did
you
Herc
were
fall
ignoring
asleep
me.
in the bath? Because that'd be hilarious.
Sure.
Okay.
I'll probably wake Riker up. Hey, you're up.
I suppose.
Ren mentioned something about prisoner. I couldn't do much with it. Couldn't get past the first couple of guards. Stumbled like an idiot.
So if I'm
Say.
hearing you correctly, since you can't get past them, I probably shouldn't try.
You can try, by all means.
No, the last time I tried to sneak past anything was the Beholder, and I think we all knew how that went.
Look at you, you're alive. You survived.
Barely.
Well, they said if the bells ring, just to be careful, but you know.
Yeah.
I don't think we're the
I'll-
kind to be careful or too careful with it.
I'll keep that in mind.
And I will tuck into the corner and call it a night.
Okay. Riker,
Yeah.
what do you do during your 2 hours? At this point, we are in the dead of night. Even at the end of your 2 hours watch, it will not be sunrise. You will still have a few hours left before the sun comes over the horizon.
Yeah, I'll tell you what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to go try to sneak into the basement. Riker will just be like doing some manual tuning or fixes on his cannon. Just typical things he would do.
I'm sorry. I made a mistake seeing laughing, and I opened up the memes chat.
Oh, you poor bastard. You poor bastard.
Yep, that was a mistake. I can't unsee that. Oh man.
You cannot.
All right. Sorry. Riker, it just wiped my brain. What did you say you're doing?
Nothing out of the ordinary. I'm just making some repairs to the cannon.
Okay. Give me fuck me. Give me a perception check, please.
Why is it so white? I don't get it. 12.
You answered the question already.
Yeah, but I didn't read it because reading is for
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. With a 12.
I'm not going to explain it with an image.
Yeah, good call.
Go ahead.
With a 12, you find yourself really distancing yourself from the reality of your surroundings, really tuning in to tinkering on your cannon, finding your mind wandering even a little bit to what Mortimer might be up to, since this is the closest you've been to him since you first left. And even, I believe, your attempt at scrying on him, was it unsuccessful? Or were you
First
able
one
to?
failed, second one succeeded.
That's right. yeah, your night goes by relatively uneventfully. As far as you know.
All right. I imagine like at the end of at the end of the 2 hours, I accidentally wake everyone up. Like I'm just doing some stuff with some wires, and all of a sudden you just hear and causes a loud noise to wake everyone up.
Sounds good. Everyone does achieve a long rest. I know you all leveled up. So
Yeah. So when everyone wakes up, when Arsis wakes up, Ardu is actually draped completely over her instead because he's doubled in size.
that is correct.
Nice.
Yes, that did happen. And he also, his wings much larger. He himself has a fly speed now, right? But not while you're mounting him. That's right. Wild.
Yeah, he can fly on his own. Yep. So yeah, he's huge. Arsis is like, oh god, I can't breathe, and she pushes him off of him. He makes a weird, cute little dragon grunting noise. When
Riker is just like, oh wait, sorry about that, guys. And oh my god, what is that?
What is what?
Ardu?
Oh my god. Did you feed him something while I was sleeping?
Not that I'm aware, unless someone else did.
I'm gonna get down and examine and make sure he's okay. He must have had a growth spurt.
That's quite the sudden spurt.
You,
Did
as
you
you're
feed
kind
any
of
that dragon? Maybe that did it.
I didn't feed him any of the dragon meat that we didn't ourselves eat. Did anybody else grow wings, get bigger?
Rin checks her back.
No.
I'm feeling pretty spry after that bath,
I bet you.
if a little wrinkly.
Take a moment out for that photo that the poor internet will never get to see.
Yep.
You can also use that photo for the
we
next time.
saw it.
No, use that photo the next time that Hurt has to miss a session.
I will, actually.
Oh yes, please.
Anyways. It is still the dark of night. What do you all do with your time?
Well, we've got all this money. We should use it, right, to help us in the days to come.
We probably have to wait for the sun to come up first.
All right, but we can make a list of things that we need, so we're not meandering about or disorganized. I mean, we got lucky with the diamonds at one time, but we should. I imagine there's a few things that you want. Maybe we
still
can.
have time. While we still have some time, one of the guards mentioned that if the bells ring, to avoid the horn gate. You think there's something going on over there at the horn gate? Maybe we can take a quick look at.
Maybe it's just been where they've been spearheading their attack.
Maybe. And we might find some supplies there that we can spend some money on.
Wait,
The home gate,
didn't
that's
you
where this
mention...
all started, remember?
Mm-hmm.
Sammy, didn't you mention something about the basement?
Well, right.
Yeah, I mean, sounds like someone was brought in last night.
I
I
wonder
just
who.
heard bits and pieces. Yeah, I wish I knew.
And unless we get any sort of permission from somebody higher up, I don't know if they're just going to let us in there.
Why not?
Well,
I mean,
we
we
can
could.
always ask.
For all we know, they think we're like, secret royal agents, We just came back from a mission. Word's probably gotten around. We went and saw the queen herself. we might hold a bit more weight than you think.
I suppose that couldn't hurt.
And we want to see this person. Why? What's cool about them? They were brought in. They a wizard?
It might be someone we know.
I guess that's true. But who?
I wish I knew.
Thaddeus? Probably not. Probably Mortimer? How's Mortimer doing?
I was gonna go visit him today. I hope it's not him in the basement.
I also hope that.
You think it's bad in the basement? Probably, actually. We're in the castle.
I
Well-
can't imagine anything good happening in the basement.
Yeah, I mean, whoever they are, they're being interrogated.
Oh. So they're an
Yeah,
enemy.
sorry, So, they're probably not a
Hmm.
good actor. At least for what the queen needs.
Especially if they got caught. Intriguing.
They were caught coming into the city, not trying to leave. So
Into the city or into the castle?
The castle.
Hmm. Could be our Shadowfar friend. They're sneaky. I don't think they'd get caught, though. Should I just ask someone?
If anyone could do it, it would be you.
I'm not that sneaky.
But you're very good at asking for things.
Yeah?
And getting what you want.
Yeah?
I'd say so.
Alright. Well. Should we... I guess Queen's probably not awake, right? Probably wait.
I mean, it's still so early.
I guess I'll go try to find a captain. I might recognize ranks on people, or
Okay. What's your intent? What are you looking for?
hey, I just heard there was a bit of a commotion last night. It woke me from my bath. No, I probably won't say that. I was trying to take a relaxing bath last night when I heard a commotion. Somebody tried to break in the castle.
Hold on. Did anybody else go with Herc, or are you all still hanging out in the room?
Rick could probably go.
I would have came.
Yeah, I think
Just
at this
make it a
point-
whole
Yeah.
field trip. Everybody goes, but Herc's just
You guys are all coming as an entourage. Well,
Yeah, Herc is the camp counselor.
got
He's
strength
got
in
this.
numbers. Can one of you two, Arsus Riker, make a list of things we... Or, Rin, you know how much money we have. Make a list of things we need to buy.
Okay. I could do that. As long
One
as you
second.
get good information.
And breakfast.
Okay. Alrighty. As you all wander around the castle, eventually coming to a point out in front of the throne room and in the same general area where Sammy was stopped prior. Not that you would know that, but just for Sammy's point of reference, you find a group of soldiers, Purple Dragon Knights, and one of them clearly more decorated than the other, demonstrated by the embroidery around their royal cloak. And as you approach, you can overhear some of their conversation talking about the status of each of the gates in the walls and any descriptions of attacks which appeared to have been relatively light throughout the night. But as you approach the captain, go ahead.
Do any of these guys look like the one that I talked to yesterday?
No.
Today? Whatever day? Okay.
No.
Heard.
Herc, as you approach the captain, he turns to you and listens to you ask about
Sir, Herc Hotsong, also known as Herc, the Half-Orc Hurricane, or the Hulking Hunk, member of the Royal Missions Brigade. Just returned from our mission yesterday. Heard there was a disturbance last night. Somebody tried to break in. Are we all clear? Are they infected?
and his eyes squint, eyeing you up and down. Who told you?
We heard it last night. There was a commotion. I was in my bath, and my companions were about. We've had come back from a dangerous mission, so it's hard to take it easy, you know. You're fighting beholders and dragons and punching rocks right through their skulls. Gets a little difficult to just relax, you know.
And he looks at you. You can give me like a persuasion, because you didn't really tell anything that was a lie. Oh, I did that? You guys see that 17, right?
Yes.
Okay, it says GM right next to it, and I didn't know if I whispered it to myself on accident. Okay.
Oh, I misrolled, John. I have to
Oh,
roll again, I think.
yeah, okay. And he kind of looks at you. Listen, I don't have time for whatever this is. All I know is that you did not hear a break-in last night, because there was no break-in. We did capture someone. Yes, they are infected.
Where did they come from?
We don't know. We don't even know how they got through the city walls. We don't know what they've done while they were in the city. We caught them on patrol.
Are they lucid?
Define lucid.
Can they make their own thoughts? Can they converse?
They can converse, but whether or not it is their own thoughts is, well, it's to be determined. Personally, I don't think so. I think this is a rambling lunatic, and my personal assumption is that they infiltrated to feed us lies, misdirect.
They say a name?
Of the prisoner, you mean?
Yes.
No name.
Do you have a name by chance?
Do I personally have a name?
No, as in, do you? Sorry, I didn't know if you said no name out of character or in character.
Oh, both. Yeah,
Oh, okay, so he
he
doesn't
said,
know.
yeah,
Okay.
he said that they couldn't get a name out of the
Okay, that's
prisoner.
what I wanted to know.
But redirecting towards Herc.
Well,
You
good job. And whom do we have the honor of addressing?
Cedric.
And what rank is Cedric?
Let me double check the ranks of Purple Dragon Knights. He is a Tellsword.
A Tellsword?
Yeah. It's the third highest ranking. They're all categorized as Purple Dragon Knights, but the highest ranking is a knight. The lower rankings under that are Recruit and Purple Dragon Blade, and then Purple Dragon Tellsword, and then Purple Dragon Knight.
Well, what a relief to hear that, Tellsword Cedric. If any of you or your men need disinfecting, if I catch it soon enough, by the power of Lathander, Tamora, and Suni, I can cleanse them. Me and my companions, we have business in the city if we can make it work with quarantines and shutdowns. But I don't want to take up any more of your time. Is there someone else who can assist us with procuring some materials and goods?
It really depends on what you're looking for. A lot of the food has been rationed out for the citizens, delivered each morning. The wartime materials, equipment, armor, weapons, that's in the armory, and we're not going to be relinquishing that. It's needed for defense of the city.
If we put it to service in the defense of the city and pay good coin beside, what then?
I don't have the authorization to make that decision. I suppose if you told me what it is you're after, I could run it up the chain and see if I could help.
I look around to everybody else. Well, for one, I could use a suit of armor.
What about healing potions? Are any of those still available?
We do have stores of various potions. I could probably spare a few.
Anything that we could use would be of great help.
Do you intend to stay in the city long? Are you going to be manning the walls, or...?
It depends on what the Queen or the Grand Wizard ask of us, really. So, we figured we'd save them some time and get to it on gathering some of the things we know we'll need.
Very well. I'll make a care package. And I will go about putting a few potions in there. If there is anything that you specifically want to request, you can put it in chat. We don't have to roleplay that portion.
Potion of speed. That's all I'm saying.
Baby!
We could.
3 potions of speed.
Yeah,
We need action economy. We need to just have drugs.
we'll say that before you set out from the city, you will gain probably the majority of your things. You're not going to get any enchanted plate armor, and not going to have a set of full plate.
Not a set of
We
full
can
plate?
afford
No.
a set of full plate, though.
Yeah,
We can.
If
But we
you
didn't.
if you wanted to commission somebody, that'll have to be after the war. You won't be able to get that before you head away.
What about half plate? Or
Half plate's going to be your best bet, bud.
what about half plate?
Maybe. We'll see.
Or splint?
Oh, you don't have Splint already?
Anyways, while you guys are deciding kind of on the back end what you would like to have in your care basket, what would you guys like to do during this early morning?
I don't like. No one else wants to go with. Riker wants to go visit Mortimer.
Anybody else want to travel along with Riker to go see?
I'd be happy to go with you. I don't have anything to do in the city, so if you want
I thought
company.
you needed to buy things. Maybe we should go scrounge around together.
I usually find everything I need in the forest.
Oh, brother. Weren't there some things that you specifically wanted to get already made? We don't have to carve it ourselves or, pull it out of some animal's stomach.
You guys have already been super generous with this fancy bow you got me. I'm happy.
If you
I
could
have the
just find
stone.
somebody to put a proper handle on this, and I'll give you the dragon tooth that I pried out of the jaw of the blue dragon. Maybe that way I can stab something with that versus my own
Yeah.
dagger or something.
Yeah.
I've got to look for something.
You want to come with? I'd hate to make a decision that you weren't happy with.
Oh, so,
Maybe we could find some other things you'd like.
Rin,
Rin, give us the money. Rin, come with. Why don't you come with us?
Yeah, I'll be wherever. I mean, technically, Riker's the one with the money. I just keep
Rin's
track
got
of it.
the boat.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. And Riker will hand Rin the bag of holding with the gold.
Nice.
The gold and all the
I-
items.
I can
Yeah.
assume that you'll make the right
Mostly
decision
items.
on that. So,
I have a great sense of fashion, sure, but I think it's important that you make these decisions. We might find some other cool stuff. Do you have another plan of what to do today? You're coming with us.
I just need to put some personal things into order.
Okay, just got the day.
Well,
Well, when
find
are we
you guys.
supposed to see the Queen again? Or the Wizard? Anybody know? I wasn't paying attention.
John,
I
can I make
figured
a
they'd
history
call us
check?
when they were ready.
Sorry.
He's got to figure out how to use that thing, and then we're gonna go.
Oh, Sammy rolls a beautiful history check.
No spanks for Sammy.
I don't believe they ever said when you would be summoned. I think that they had just suggested that whenever they had solved the
artifact.
obelisk or the artifact, or felt like they were making progress, that they would let you know.
And if
Also-
you hear the bells, I think it would be best for us to. Do we want to go to the Horn Gate, or do we want to avoid that altogether? If we hear it.
Oh, I see.
Well, I'm
because
not
the
gonna
god
leave
told
this
you
city.
to avoid it. But that means that's where the danger is, and where the best people to go and handle danger.
Perhaps
I agree.
we should go look at that today. Just see what the situation is over there. So we know later if we want to avoid it or embrace it.
Embrace it.
You know, embrace the fight.
No.
Whatever's going on over there.
Yeah.
Okay. So who's going where? Riker's going to see Mortimer.
Yep.
And I'll go with him.
Arsis is going to go with him. Perfect. I like that. Sammy is doing his own thing.
He's coming with us for at least
Is
part
he?
of.
Is he? He's coming with you guys for part of it. Okay, and then
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Herc and Rin are going off.
dragging him along.
Alrighty. As all of you venture out into the wee hours of the morning, leaving the royal castle doors, making your way through the courtyard, the fountain still streaming with water, and leaving the palace courtyard into the royal garden, the long winding path back to the main roads. You come to the crossroad where Riker would be heading north, and the rest of you would be splitting off to head probably eastward to see if the market hall still has any of the brick and mortar shops inside of it.
Did we
Herc, were you
make a
gonna say something?
decision about going towards the gate if the bells go off or not, or did we just kind of leave that?
Oh yeah, we
off?
should probably remember it's dangerous out in the city. You can get infected. And if the bells ring, either go to the castle, or if you're feeling brave enough, go to the gate. Or maybe we shouldn't give it a choice. If you can make it to the.
I would say just go to the gate. We can be of a lot
Right.
of help over there.
Okay.
Alrighty. Riker and Arsha splitting off, and we'll deal with you two first, as the rest part eastward over the bridge of the small little pond that stretches through the center of Suzail. As you get to the familiar dragonstone sculpture into the southeastern side of the War Wizards College, you reach up underneath of that right nostril and grab for the pressure switch that turns off the defense mechanisms for the dragon's maw to open up as you enter into the familiar stairwell heading down into the basement of the college. Eventually, you hear some clattering around in the room where you know you'll find Mortimer. Opening the door, you see him frantically scrawling on what appears to be a journal, and he quickly jerks to see the two of you enter his room. Oh, gods, I wasn't expecting anybody to come down here. Riker and Riker's friend.
And
Hey,
Riker's
Mortimer.
friend's dragon.
Oh, the dragon peeps in over top of your shoulder, and he kind of puts his back up against the desk and...
Oh no, Mortimer, he's friendly. I swear.
Okay, keep him away from anything breakable. If he's going to come through...
So, like this entire place. Gotcha.
Just at
We
least
could just
this room.
hang over by the door.
What? When did you get back? Did you just get back tonight, or have you been in town for some time?
Literally just last night. It's been quite the journey. How are things here?
Well, I've made some advancements, at least with understanding the growth rate and the different stages. So I suppose that's good, but
Yeah, any progress is good progress. I mean, that's what you've always told me.
Unfortunately, I'm no closer than I was when we first set out to understanding how to cure it.
I figured this runs so much deeper than I think either of us could have imagined.
Can I show you something? I didn't show you before. It was in its earliest stages. As soon as I saw the boar, I started having the crown work on something. And I should have known that I could trust you, but I just wanted to keep the information to myself at first.
No, I understand, Mortimer. Yeah, if you have something to show me, I would love to see it.
And he steps out of the room and kind of skirts slowly past the dragon, but still eyeing Ardu with curiosity. But going back out into the hallway, what would have normally been just the end of the stairwell and just a plain wall, it still appears to be so. But as he goes up and pushes in one of the bricks that is on the wall, you can see it slide open, and another stairwell goes deeper. I was having this built because, listen, when it comes to, like, we've always dealt with corpses and done experiments and things during the embalming process, and when you're working on live subjects, sometimes people get a little queasy. It crosses some lines morally.
Wait, live subjects?
It's better that I show you. And you continue down the stairwell and eventually come to a large room, probably about double the size of his main office above. And you can see as he uses the magic, not his own magic, but uses the magic to light the sconces along the walls, illuminating the room. You see large glass chambers with humanoid figures in various stages of transformation. Listen, I know this doesn't necessarily look good, but these are unprecedented times, and the transformation is quite gruesome, and I needed to be studying it as much as possible, so I set up this lab very hastily. And you can go through and you can look at the different subjects and their various states of transformation, all the way until you get to the end, where you can see one akin to the fungal monstrosity that you saw. Why am I forgetting the cultist? It starts with a Z, I think. The very first one that you... No, we know Zuktmoy. Whoever it was that you fought... Zephyrus was the name of the war wizard. Maybe that's what I was thinking of. But I was thinking of the cultist that you fought in the cave.
Yeah. So Arsis is looking very somber at all of these things. Does she recognize anybody from Monroe?
Zachary?
Merrick.
Merrick, thank you. Merrick. Give me... I don't know whether or not I want you to roll a history or give me. We'll just call it a
Perception
history
or
check.
investigation, maybe.
No, let's give me a history check with your perception or with your wisdom modifier. What a history check with your wisdom modifier? Yeah. So if you have proficiency in that
I
works.
used insight because it's also wisdom. Yeah.
Yeah, I gotcha. Okay. So two things.
She's just kind of being very quiet in the back, following Riker as Riker's mentor's talking about the situation. Ardu left it. She left Ardu upstairs.
No, that's perfectly fine. It would have been difficult to travel. It would have been a tight fit for him to go down these much narrower stairwell. It is really difficult to pull this. As you're looking at the ones that are in a lesser state of transformation, you don't recognize any of them. And even the first one that you do recognize isn't from Monroe, but from Weymouth. And this particular figure is Arthur Stone.
The guy we
and
cured.
Oh. He was the very first infected we found.
he was the first infected
It
you
was
found.
too far along by the time that we tried
That's
to do
right.
anything.
Yeah.
And he had a family.
Did have
That too,
family,
yep.
and we thought he was related to Rin.
He might be.
Yeah, it's possible. But you see him, and he is. You can see like large fungal caps bursting forth from his shoulder. His clothes very, very tattered, as they haven't really been able to be changed. And you can see that's he's in a pretty advanced state of transformation. But the one.
Rocker,
Go ahead.
Yeah.
recognize him?
Mr. Stone?
Mortimer. Yes, he's one of our earlier subjects brought in. Very interesting. By the time he got here, the infection had already spread through a lot of his intestines. It was interesting to see the way the mycelial growth attached to the spine and even the brain stem, watching his lose motor control. He probably was able. I was able to study the most from him.
Mortimer, how long have you had these people here?
Well, I've had Arthur Stone longer than I've had this subject, and he points to the most transformed subject. This one was brought in it came by special request. I don't have any understanding as to why this one particular, but I studied her for quite some time. And as you look at this figure, you can see that the face, especially the right side of the face of this elderly woman, is completely devoid of any of the natural flesh, and the fungal skin, I guess you could call it, is more like just a mound that shoots straight up and almost forms a sort of crown on the side of her face. The rest of the body fully transformed. Right arm is more of a club than a hand of just growth on top of growth on top of growth. And sorry, I dropped something. Having spent virtually all of your life with this individual, notice the last remnants of clothes, a shawl that she would normally wear as she was sitting in the rocking chair, knitting, draped. And as you can see, the left side of her old, wrinkled face, eye was devoid of any emotion. At the time, you see this figure turn towards you, Arsis, and for a moment, you can see a flicker of recognition. And then the subject starts behaving erratically, starts thrashing inside of the glass cage. Mortimer says hastily, I've had them for a little bit over a week, various states, and he walks over to a button that you can see on the side of each of the cages and presses it, and a relatively clear light green gas pours in, and it seems to be some sort of sedative that calms the creature down. But Arsis, you would recognize this figure as a very transformed Sasha.
Yeah, she's just staring in horror. She's not saying anything. She hasn't moved from the cage at all. Just kind of watching this whole thing. She turns to Mortimer. She's like, you gotten closer to getting a cure? You think there's any way to undo all of this?
I wish that I knew. I've tried a lot of different things. Anything that I found that could reduce the fungus appears to have negative impacts on the life form itself.
You mentioned it was all their way in their central nervous system?
Yes, yeah, it's what I've dubbed as stage 4. Their motor functions deteriorate, they become clumsy, their speech slows or is slurred, and eventually the metamorphosis takes over in the next stage, and the skin starts to fall off as the basically the
Riker says, I think we've heard enough, Mortimer. Thanks.
She'll turn to Riker. Riker, think Sammy can do what he did for you, for her? We just need that stone again.
But you know what happened? What's gonna happen to Sammy, right? You can't use that, and without any risk, without any danger to yourself or any of us.
Well, I think it's worth the risk. I'll do it.
But you
Sammy
don't.
can't do it, then I'll do it.
We don't know what it'll do. It did something for Sammy one way, but for you, it could cost you much more than just cutting your life short. We don't know.
Maybe there's something magic. Maybe science can't fix it, but maybe magic can.
Well,
it's something that's crossed my mind. I'm been working closely with Ganrahas, trying to figure out if even a greater restoration spell doesn't seem to have any effect on them once they've gone so far. Basically, anything past stage 2 is no longer affected by magic.
There's got to be something. Maybe we can ask Raikana. Maybe she knows. She's a powerful mage. Henry has to stuck up in his stuffy old books in his stuffy old castle. He doesn't know the real world. If Arv was any indication.
Mortimer, I think we've seen enough down here.
Do whatever you can to stop. Stop it from progressing any farther, please. Is there anything I can do? Do you need me to bring you anything?
A coffee. I work tirelessly. I don't know. Doesn't help without my assistant. Haven't really trusted anybody else to come down here and work, but I know what you're doing now is far more important than what I am. I mean, even though they're, accomplishing the same goal.
Mortimer, what you're doing is very important.
Mortimer, I would love nothing more than to keep helping you down here, but we're gonna be needed elsewhere. I'm sorry.
I understand. It's what I signed up for when I became the Royal Mortician.
Right.
Is there anything I can help you with while you're here? Did you bring any news from the field? Go ahead. Yeah.
Her forehead on the glass, and she just kind of like lost all the fight in her body.
In a sedated state, the monstrosity that you see before you, lacking the overwhelming majority of its human features, kind of rests its fungal crown on the glass cage in front of you. You can see the human feature left on the left side of her face, looking at you, the mouth half transformed, fungal, half skin, decayed, just barely hanging on, kind of coughing, and you can see small debris clouds, spore clouds coming out of the mouth. But as you stare at Sasha, you can see a tear streaming from the left side of her face, her eye, dripping down her cheek.
Is there any way to open the cages at all that I can see?
You can give me an investigation, because there's lots of buttons that you can see, but it would take more than just a quick glance to be able to determine which one, if any, would be able to open it. With a 12, you see a small command center on the far wall. You see a lot of different buttons. None of them explicitly say open or close, but you see buttons with numbers next to them that appear to be numbered in sequence with the cages that there are along the wall. So it'd be hard to tell without. You could press the button that's associated with her cage, but you're not sure of what the button would do.
Alright, then I will put my neck scarf over my face, like we do when we deal with the fungus, and I will attempt to push the button associated with the cage I think is hers. And I'm going to do this without thinking.
Do Mortimer and Heist see this?
Mortimer's talking with you. I will say that he is facing away from the control panel, but you are facing towards the control panel, so you would see Arsis heading over in that direction and even analyzing the panel for probably just a few seconds before she would press it. So I'll give you an opportunity to say or do something before she presses the button, but whether or not you'd be able to actually stop her from doing so is a different picture.
I might. I will only say, I'll say something quick, and I'll say, Arsis, please step away from that.
I'm gonna ignore him.
Wander paralysis.
Whoa. Okay, what's the DC save on that one?
It's a con save.
Okay. Con save of
15.
15?
Yeah.
Okay. As you withdraw the wand and cast paralysis or paralyze on Arsis, I envision finger hovering over the button, unable to move. Tear ducts probably still functioning, crying over the button, wanting more than anything to be able to press this button to do whatever she wanted with a freed Sasha. But she's paralyzed. How long does the paralysis last? Okay.
I quickly turn to Mortimer. I say, Mortimer, we have to get her out of here quickly. Can you lock this room up?
Of course. What sort of scientist would I be if I couldn't lock up my laboratory? And he kind of shakes his head. And
we have to go right now. This won't last long.
He helps you lift paralyzed Arsis, and he's kind of saying, I know you're hurt, child. I know it. If there was anything that I could do, I would do it. In a heartbeat. Carrying you up the stairs, it's very, very awkward. Yeah, it's just very difficult. Door sliding shut behind. And eventually she becomes unparalyzed at the top of the stairs with the door shut.
All right, the moment I become unparalyzed, I'm going to rush back to the door and try to bang on it and open it. And it's like, no, you don't understand. We have to save her. We have to. She's in pain. She's in pain. She's in there. We need to let her out. We need to let her go. And I'm sobbing. I'm completely losing it.
Mortimer's not mad. You can see it in his face and his eyes. He only has sympathy and remorse for doing what he feels he has to do.
Anybody else? Just let her go. Let her go. Just let me say goodbye.
I'm sorry. I can't. She's the furthest along captive that we have, and if there's a hope for a cure, we need every bit of information we can.
We'd be infecting not just Mortimer, but the rest of the city.
No, I was just gonna say goodbye.
She knows. I can tell by your reaction now that she knew that you loved her while she was still in there.
She's still in there now. She recognized me. She's in there.
I don't think she's fully in control, Arsis.
I know. I was gonna release her.
If you had opened that up, you would have released Pandora's box.
You don't understand, Riker. I was going to release her.
You're going to release her and infect Mortimer and possibly myself.
No, Riker.
I think she
don't
means
understand.
that she was going to put her out of her misery, as we've done with countless of other infected.
You saw how when she was coughing, she was releasing spores. That's an infection right there. We all would have been exposed to it.
I mean, I have been exposed to it more times than I can count, but I'm also, and he holds up his amulet. While I'm wearing this, I'm immune to become infected to begin with. So
Oh, that's good.
it's. I would have been fine. I would have been more concerned with the two of you. But it'll all be over soon. Yeah?
She's
Ganner has
suffering.
to give it 2-3 more days. Is there anything else that you guys want to do while you're at the morticians, or?
I just kind of go up to Mortimer and say, I don't know how much this will help, but any information might be relevant. And I hand him my journal.
Oh.
I've been taking notes. Granted, it's been maybe a few days since we've directly dealt with the infection, but there might be something in here you could use.
Thank you.
Oh, and once this is all said and done, I promise I've got some really interesting news. We get to do a character study on a death from a beholder. It'll be interesting.
I would love that.
I know, it's those kind of weird quirks have always sparked your interest. So, and I've got a lot of information readily available.
That's why no one else will do. I'll never be able to replace you as an assistant.
Well, once this is all over, you won't have to worry about that.
That's what the good ones always say. I find that they always find bigger and better things, and don't get me wrong, I'll be sad, but I won't be disappointed.
Well, thank you, Mortimer, for everything. I can't begin to explain how grateful I am for everything you've done.
My door's still always open. You know how to get in here.
I'll try to be back. No, you know what? I will be back. That's a promise.
He claps you on the shoulders and gives you a firm handshake and looks over at Arceus and... Sorry, I promise. I'm taking every precaution to keep them comfortable.
Please make sure she's not in pain.
Had I known there was relation, I never would have shown. Be safe out there. Please. I'm busy and I must be back to work now. These cures aren't going to find themselves, unfortunately. They never do.
Right. Well, best of luck, Mortimer.
You too.
I imagine as we're trying to leave, Ardu's not used to his bigger body yet and will knock over a couple of vials with his tail.
That was
Right,
the
turn around.
cure.
He would have put it next to the door.
That's funny. Yeah, and as it happens, and he just kind of shakes his head and don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'll clean it up. You 2, 3, get out of here. And he takes, as he goes to shut the door, you can tell that he's looking out at Ardu for a little bit longer time, and then eventually kind of shakes his head and wild, and then shuts the door, and that's the last thing you hear before he goes back to his
Wait, I'm gonna turn around and I'm gonna pound on the door real fast.
Okay, he opens it.
I'm going to reach around in my bag. I'm going to pull out the blue dragon scale and the 7 pounds of dragon meat, and this might help, and dump it on him.
Okay. He looks at all of these things as they flop into his lap, and just kind of in bewilderment, 7 pounds of dragon meat and dragon scales, and he goes and flops it onto a cadaver table, and
That's it. And then I turn around and leave. That's all I wanted to do.
he yells up the stairwell. Thank you as you depart.
Mhm.
And if there's no objections, I will transition to the other three.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. The three of you wandering eastward throughout the city,
Eastward.
towards the market hall, where you would find if there are any shops available, that would be the highest density. Looking towards crossing the promenade to the Suzail proper, you happen to take a glance north towards the east gate and see that it is heavily armed. There are probably about 20 to 25 purple dragon knights and several war wizards all congregating around the gates. You can see barricades on the inside of the gate, and several archers with crossbows pointing outwards, kind of in a rested position at the moment. They're at ease, but you can see them off in the distance. You continue on to the market hall.
Say, we could try our luck at the market hall, but if it comes to naught, there is the Society of Stalwart Adventurers. Maybe we could find Sir Syrian. I bet he has all sorts of bits and baubles and things, and he'd probably know how to make
quite a
handle
lot more
for
to
it.
trade him now.
Yes, and to prove ourselves, because if I recall correctly, he didn't have much confidence in our abilities.
We can find a trading coster here as well, as long as they haven't shut them down.
That's such a long
Like
walk,
to,
though, to go by all those things. I can never keep them. I never know which one's which. But sure, might as well.
Hold on, I have to remember which one is the 41. Oh, okay, yeah, that's actually closer than the market. That's actually the closest spot. So anywhere that you would intend to go, whether it's the market hall or the trading costers, would be further east or further south than the Stalwart Adventurers. So would that be
Wait, which one's that 41?
the Stalwart Adventurers
Oh, okay.
Guild?
Which do you want to do, Sammy?
Well, we can. Don't have to cater to me. We can get to the trading coster at some point. Let's hit up Let's hit up Syrian and see what he has.
Yes. I wonder what sort of disguise he'll be in this time.
Perhaps we could get one of those.
A disguise?
I mean, depending on what our travel is going to look like to get back to the tree, I don't know that we'll be very well welcomed back in Deadlock. If that's how we have to go to get there. If we were to have something to protect our identities for travel, that could be useful.
Sammy pulls up his turtleneck and pulls it over his face.
A little more than that, Sammy.
Yes, you could be. Sammy, what would you be? You would be or you could be a little sneaky goblin, and Rin, you could be a mermaid, and I could be a black dragonborn.
Wouldn't that be something?
I guess that would stand out a little bit. But we wouldn't
Probably.
look like ourselves, that's for sure.
How are you all navigating the streets? Are you just casually walking in the open? Are you slinking in between buildings, staying off the main roads?
I'd probably stay
Uh,
closer to the buildings.
I don't slink.
He saunters in the middle of the walkway. He wants everybody to see him.
I mean, from an everybody standpoint, it's virtually not. It's nobody. You can see patrols far in the distance, though you haven't encountered one directly. Even walking past some of the buildings, you see a lot of their curtains are closed, and every now and then, if you've made a little bit louder with your conversation walking close to a building, you might even see a face kind of peep out one of the windows before quickly closing the curtain again.
Say, do you think that there might be a lockdown, an infect for the city?
Yes, that's what they said. It's weird, isn't it? Well, it's kind of nice, too, just having the whole street to ourselves.
You know, it's quiet. I used to love walking around at this time of day on the promenade.
Yeah? What would you do?
Get into any trouble that a 10-year-old could.
Oh, all right.
Eerie now, though, with, I don't know, foreboding somehow.
Yeah. I guess if you let that get to you. But look on the bright side, we're probably the only paying customers out and about right now. We should get some pretty good deals. So, Sammy, you wanted some enchanted arrows, a handle for your knife. Rin, you wanted anything?
I mean, if we could figure out how to get some kind of magical disguise, that might be nice.
Yes,
Just for
magical
the future, not
disguises.
necessarily.
Yes, disguises. And I know what I want is maybe I need to go to a temple actually for some holy water and powdered silver. And then I
It's
need to
not
get
a
some
bad
rings.
place to go.
Components for something?
Well, they're more like holy ritual. Yes, I guess components. That's what a wizard would call them, I suppose. You cast spells, don't you? You don't need anything
I do.
of that nature?
I mean, I mostly just use my music.
Yeah. All right then.
In for realness, I'm checking to see
What your spell
if
components
Rin has
are?
any like weird spell components. Yeah.
I don't check that very often.
So the Temple of Good Fortune, which is devoted to Timora, is number 42, which would have been closer than the Adventurers Club.
Okay.
If we don't have to necessarily roleplay that out if you just wanted to get some different holy water things.
Maybe assure that priest. I think we took Arceus to this temple, right?
That is correct.
Assure that
You did
priest
do.
that we
Mhm.
everybody's okay, and look what's happened since we've
While
come through.
he's getting his holy water and shit, Sam is probably walking around and having any conversation with a priest.
You're just having any
man
conversation
who's
with a
found
random
religion.
Yes,
random
we
priest?
got a new convert over here.
Oh yeah, sir. I'm about to die. Let me get a religion in while I can.
That's how it works, isn't it? You just pray on your
pretty
deathbed and
much.
everything's fine.
Yep, that's it.
What sort of questions are you asking?
What happens to us after life? What happens?
You can
to
ask
our
Riker.
possessions
Riker knows
after
what
we
happens.
die?
You're talking about rigor mortis. You're talking about the body, not the soul.
I mean, yes,
like-
but we might eventually get to the soul
those
after
kind of
like
things.
hours of what happens to the body.
Sammy's never been one to actually think about his death, and now that it's laying there in
Imminent.
front of him, he's probably just like trying to figure out like what the big deal is.
Hmm.
What his options are.
Yeah. What gods are out there for a little cut purse like me?
For a lovely little sinner.
One moment.
Just a son of a sinner. That's all. You know, so does a particular god kind of look away from patricide, kind of things?
You talk to a relatively young and eager cleric of Timora, and hearing your interest in the afterlife. Well, I've never been there myself, but the books say that when you die, you go to what's called the fugue plane. And the fugue plane is kind of attached to the ethereal plane, kind of attached to the Shadowfell a little bit. But you'll go to the city of the dead, and you'll be judged by Kelemvor. But if you believe in Timora, she will hear your judgment. And if you lived a life of adventure and
But my question is, what if my soul is already promised to something else? How does that work?
like
Let's just say,
a devil or
for,
a demon? Did you sign a contract?
No, I didn't sign a contract. I don't think there's a devil or a demon involved. Really, it's just some old magic that, maybe it's just gonna whisk my spirit away and I'll be forever trapped somewhere, I think.
I don't know anything about contracts or what would happen if you signed away your soul or it whisked away. I don't know why it would.
Well,
Larry?
I didn't sign a contract, that's the thing.
Larry? Larry comes over.
Fucking Larry.
What can I help you with, child? This man says that he doesn't know what's going to happen to his soul. He thinks it's promised to something else. Well, I suppose you'll just have to rely on a little bit of luck.
Larry, come on.
Maybe if you plead hard enough, Timora will invite you into Brightwater, where you can spend your eternal life in, I don't know, adventure and opportunity and friendly gambling.
Yes. That sounds nice and everything, but does Timora have power over magic that is hundreds, if not thousands of years old?
No.
And he just kind of...
Okay, Larry, you're not helping me right now.
I'm gonna give it to you
You're not-
straight.
You're not making my soul feel at ease right now, Larry.
And he kind of looks up and clutches his necklace that's a coin with Timora's face on it, and he... Timora, forgive me. There's a soul that really is troubled, and I'm going to tell him the truth.
The amulet of Timora that I have on loan from Herc right now, and I'm clutching it
Yeah.
while he's saying this.
While she is a god, a deity, she doesn't hold much sway. She's kind of one of the... If you didn't live necessarily a great life, probably got into a little, maybe illegal things, maybe did some gambling, but you still wanted to make it to a place that wasn't burning your toes and spiking your ass, maybe you pray to Timora a little bit, and she'll let you into the great casino in the sky. So I'm saying that she doesn't have much power. She's more of a... on the tier list of places that you want to go. She's probably... I don't know. She's not going to be able to pull you out of the clutches of evil, I don't think. But you can always
Then.
take your chances.
And by taking my chances, I would have to tithe a lot to curry favor as I begin to slowly back away from this.
She always... And he kind of like arms out and walking towards you invitingly. She always accepts a little fortune coming her way, or to that of her devoted followers, such as myself, that spend countless hours toiling away in her temple. I would not say no to any generous donations that you might bestow upon the church.
At this point, I'm looking for her. It's like, get me out of here now. This is the
Larry,
bad
are you
spot for
scaring
me.
our new convert with tales of spiking your ass again?
What? I heard it's a genuine form of torture if you go to hell. Or
well,
the hells.
My friend here doesn't have much time left. It's a very dangerous business. No demons or devils involved, mind you, but I've just come back from a great adventure with him, and he's done some pretty damn daring things. So I think he deserves Our Lady's ear. And I hope that fortune finds favor with him. And maybe we should make a donation. Can't hurt. We've got plenty of money. 5,000?
Yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah. How much do we have?
I mean, I'm just saying, if you need money to get into like tomorrow's palace or whatever, I think it's time for Sammy to start the Protestant Reformation. Just saying.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just saying.
Let's go, Martin Luther.
Larry kind of closes his eyes and clutches his little necklace, and he's like, "May Lady Luck smile upon
While
you."
he's saying this, while he's got his eyes closed, I turn around and I grab both Herc and Rin, and I begin dragging them away from this prayer.
And you can hear just the distant remedies. Grant him the courage in the end and fortune of what lies ahead. And you...
Nope, walking away from this.
Herc, whatever you intended to go there for, you were able to get from another cleric of Timora.
Okay.
And you continue on to the Stalwart Adventurers Guild. Do you just walk in like you own the place, or do you knock from... Yeah? As you walk up to the large double door entrance, open up the wooden door into the grand hall. A bunch of empty benches and tables fill the main room. The familiar wooden staircase up the right side of the building leading up to the upper balcony where you knew that Syrian's office was in the past. It's empty. Your echoes ring off of the wooden arched ceilings.
Hello?
Yeah.
All right, if there's any looters about, you better come out right now.
It doesn't look like Syrian is here anymore.
Make no mistake, the area looks maintained. Whether you can tell that it's been maintained by some form of magic or by an actual caretaker's hand, you're not to be sure. But there is not a layer of dust surrounding the area.
Who just leaves the place open like this to... Oh, do you see anything that...
Rin's gonna activate her purple dragon ring and cast detect magic to see if it seems like perhaps another disguise that we cannot see all the people. And they're all there.
Yeah, no, you do see the entire place seems to kind of glow with some sort of enchantment magic. But you don't see any disguised figures lurking about. However, as you do continue to walk deeper into the guild hall, eventually you see from the balcony pointing out between the slits the head of a crossbow bolt and a small head behind it of a small gnomish figure. Who goes there?
I am Hercard Song. We are friends of Sir Syrian. These are my companions, Sammy and Rin.
His eyes squint. Ah, yes, you drive a hard bargain. And he puts the crossbow bolt down and comes traipsing down the steps.
Do I recognize you from somewhere? Are you the one that I advised to get into the diamond business in the market square?
Memory.
Oh, yes, the other little stone peddler. No, it's me. It's Syrian. Just in one of my disguises, I change from time to time. Don't want people to get used to me in any one form. It's how I'm able to see and hear things that I probably shouldn't. Go unnoticed.
I bet you've been getting a lot of that lately with everything that's been going down.
True, you'd be surprised at what a purple dragon knight or a war wizard's disguise can allow you to get away with in the city during this lockdown. Ooh. What brings you back to the Stalwart Adventurers Guild? And he bows.
Well, besides bringing tales of our feats... Wait, how do we know that you're actually Sir Syrian?
We traded for a diamond or something. You tried to threaten me in my office, and you were lucky to escape with your lives, but you said you had a friend that died or something. I can't remember.
Did we threaten him? I don't remember threatening him.
I don't think that you were super... You were trying to haggle him, I think it was, and he was already giving you a discount.
Yeah.
Anyways, Anyways, it's all
I
water under the bridge.
A very pleasant business and a good conversation, and we decided to come back because we haven't
because
made
you
it
have
quite
some
over
of the
there yet.
best
Are all the
stuff.
markets still open? A couple streets down here, or no? Totally locked down, eh?
We're under lockdown.
Mm.
Do you see anybody in the streets who's going to be buying? Most of the stalls are occupied by people that come in on a daily basis. Everything's locked down. People are getting the food delivered to their doors.
surely not everything's locked down. Like, there must be some little...
All the service workers are still required to show up at work and cook the food and provide the supplies. You know how contagions and outbreaks go. The peasants are still required to work, and the people with money, they just get to stay home and do whatever they want for the time being.
Oh. Well, also, those people might be discontent about the situation, and I'm sure there's a few palms that get greased and things slip through the cracks. But never mind. We came here because if you're around for some business, boy, since we saw you last, we fought a dragon. I punched through a rock skull. We defeated what was that thing called? The nasty
The
ass thing.
Farum?
A beholder.
Yes, we
The
defeated one
Beholder?
of those. The Beholder was... I like the Beholder more than the Farum. I think they'd have more of a personality. But, yes, it's been quite a time. And,
Roll a persuasion
Well,
check with advantage as your friends are piling in with
Yeah, I show off the dragon tooth and everything else, so. Oh my god, blessed son of a bitch.
As you pull out the dragon tooth, and do you allow Syrian to take it from you?
Yeah, I'll show it off. That's fine.
Yeah, he'll hold
I'll
it.
say, yeah, I just need something to
careful with that.
make
We
it
need a
little
handle
more
for it.
wieldy.
Who did you buy this from?
Didn't buy
Buy
it
it from anybody. I wrenched it out of the beast's mouth.
after he took the killing blow.
I don't know.
We certainly could afford it if we wanted to. We're practically made of lions now. Which, I just need some platinum rings. We're hoping to see if you've got any disguises and some enchanted arrows.
I could probably
Maybe
work
some
something
plate
up.
armor or...
How much gold do you have to part with?
How much of the stuff
How much
do you
does it
have?
cost?
I see you still drive a hard bargain. I've
hard
got
times.
I've got a hat that might be of use to you. It'll allow you to cast disguise self on, well, yourself. That's how disguising yourself works. The hat I would part with for about 300 gold pieces, if you'd like.
We could probably make something like that work.
Enchanted arrows, I've got, gosh, dozens of those. Keep those around for myself and award them for prizes at the archery tourney on a monthly basis. Those...
Our other friends are at the morgue, but they're still alive. They've just had business at the morgue.
Okay.
But one of them's a very keen archer, so she deserves some of those, I think.
Ah. Has she ever participated in one of my tournaments before?
She's usually out in the forest. She knows she's one of those types that hardly ever comes to the city, doesn't understand, like what a sidewalk is and things like that.
How enchanted are we talking here? How enchanted do you really want it?
Sammy, you...
I mean...
Can you
Do
make
you have
them
options?
fall in
Yeah,
love with
but-
you? You shoot someone and...
I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for something that maybe puts a little more wallop behind the hit.
Okay, I was just trying to be
That's
creative.
what we used on the dragon there.
Now, have we got any of those left? Maybe we can use that as an example.
Well, I don't have any of them, but I'm sure Arsis has a couple more left over.
The fire ones that shoot fire? Or ice? Or lightning? Maybe acid?
Most of my arrows are just meant to either ring true
Oh.
or maybe
Ugh.
do an additional amount of damage to a particular creature. Let's say you were hunting boar, the arrowhead would be shaped a particular way for slaying that particular beast.
What about fungi?
I've never had to shoot a mushroom with arrow before, so I don't think I've ever enchanted one to be able to do so.
Syrian,
Well,
I think we're talking about the people that are out there. You mean to tell me that you haven't spent a little time outside the wall and
or
come
inside.
across anything like that?
My adventuring days are long behind me. I did adventuring when I was younger. I'm not going anywhere near any of that stuff.
Until I took an arrow in the knee.
But you
God
know
damn
what
it.
we're talking about.
I've never...
Like what's going on at the prison?
Listen, this is a relatively new phenomenon. I have some arrows that could strike true. Basically,
Alright.
metagaming, +1, 2, or +3 arrows. I will tell you to purchase +3 arrows, it's going to be extremely costly. Yeah, +1s are probably about 50 gold apiece. +2 are about 200 gold apiece, and +3 arrows are about 1,000 gold apiece.
Yikes!
I mean, we can afford it.
I know.
How much money do we have?
Like 50k.
Are you serious? You guys balked at a 5,000
Yes, I
donation?
balked at a $5,000 donation.
Yeah. What's that gonna get me, man?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not guaranteeing my trip into the afterlife with a 10% tariff on my everybody's earnings.
I think it's a small price to pay. Price to pay. What other stuff could we get?
Probably tough to get. Honestly, get a +2 bow is just as good.
I'm pretty happy with the axe because that'll be good against crap.
Yeah,
But,
like-
do you want a crossbow? Maybe Ren wants a crossbow,
I lied.
like an enchanted
Oh,
crossbow, like
I
he
don't-
has.
I
I
was
don't
trying.
think Rin has proficiency with crossbows.
No, you should.
I
It's a
was
simple
trying.
weapon.
Hold on, sorry. I was trying to go off of memory, and I was incorrect. +1 ammunition is 25, +2 is 100, and +3 is 400.
Ooh, that's much more affordable.
Yes.
Yeah.
Does he have any magic bows?
He can. Again, this is a what are you looking for? Let me know. And I will tell you whether or not you can get it.
I mean, just a +1 to start off with, because I'm getting a little tired of hitting things and only doing partial damage with them.
I'm sick of losing all my javelins.
Yeah.
We should get you a new javelin.
They should
I
come
mean,
back.
you can have my +1 if you can get me +2.
True. That sounds like a deal.
I'm not there. I said I didn't need anything. It's my fault. I do think that Riker and I are heading that way after we finish our thing. So if they take too much longer, we'll probably join them there.
Okay.
How do you know that we went there?
Because that's the only place you know in the city.
That's the
Herc
only
knows
place
a lot
I
of
know in the
this.
city.
He's from Suzail.
I know, so is Riker.
I thought of the Adventuring Society.
I would imagine Riker would think that that would be the place you guys would go. 'cause he
Maybe
was with
while
you
I
last
was
time.
interrogating the guard very successfully, we should have made a list of things we wanted, as I suggested.
That is true.
Put
I
it
guess
all
we
out.
meet up
We
with
can,
you
we can
after you're done.
retroactively say that happened.
Yeah. +2 weapon is going to be 4,000 gold pieces. Here, I tell you what. This is how we're going to do this. I'm just going to fucking throw this link for the sane magic prices in here.
You do this like Uber Eats or something.
Alright, have it delivered.
We can I don't necessarily want to spend the remaining half hour of our session combing through the lists individually and finding out what he does or doesn't have. We can say that unless you're asking for something like ultra rare, he's probably going to be able to find it. With 50,000 gold pieces, you're probably going to be able to find a lot of different things that you want or afford a lot of different things. And for that much money, he's going to be willing to part with a lot of stuff. This is all adventurers gear from people that have come through before and pawned it off to him. So it'll be used. It's not going to be brand new, but it's still going to be functioning the same.
Yeah.
But
Cool. I actually just want to buy. I need a little bit of money, and I just need to buy a golden acorn worth 200 GP.
Amazing.
Okay.
I'll take the note.
I like this Cloak of the Bat. Gives me some ideas for a new wrestling identity. The Batman.
Oh.
No, Herc.
Fine. Cloak of the Manta Ray.
And you should get the Faustian Bandolier Bard instrument.
Oh.
So
Sorry, I'm working off a lot of tiny screens here.
no, you're fine. You can
Yeah, we'll look at that
within
after.
the next 2 weeks or something like that. If there's like something that you want, we're not even gonna really get into combat before the end of the session. So whatever you want, you'll probably end up getting before you actually get into combat. Even it, I guess.
Okay.
But
Yeah, we could just send it to you, and you can tell us yay or nay.
yeah, and then don't worry about Rin. Don't mark off any gold until we come up with a final tally, and then we'll make sure we cross it off that way.
Just for the sake of us, can we just say, hey, each of us have 10,000 to play around with, plus minus whatever, and then we base our decisions based off of that?
Sure, I think that's fair.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
what you guys do with your money is up to you.
Dude,
Yeah, and I mean,
After all this
necklace
You
With
do
the
not have to
fireballs.
spend all 10k. Like we've,
Yeah, you know
Nice.
the old adage of don't spend it all in one place.
Except for Sammy, who only has 9 days to spend it all, so you might as well spend it all now.
maybe
That's true.
I'm pulling out
each
credit
have
cards.
12,000.
I'm maxing out all my debt.
Well, and plus, like, Sammy owes Samora 5,000 gold. Just saying.
Yeah, you're gonna
Yeah.
feel really silly when you're going up to the pearly gates and it's like, if only I'd spent.
If only I spent the 5,000
Yeah.
gold, sucker.
Yeah, that big gamble could have come with a big reward.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Anyways, chatting it up with Syrian a little bit more, and eventually Riker and Arsis stumble their way into the building.
Oh wait, but how did they know we were here? Could we go find them maybe?
You could
With
do
our
that as
stuff?
well, I suppose.
Unless you guys have a way to find us.
I mean,
Track your scent.
I do have the message spell, so I could just be trying that over and over again until I eventually ping you.
Why you're not answering me? Why you're not talking to me? Where are you guys at?
Yeah, I suppose if you were going to, or the last thing you had told them was potentially going to the market hall, and they might have been trying to cast message while pointing in the direction. As long as they were within 100 feet, 150 feet or whatever, they would have been able to ping one of you, and you could have given them your location if you wanted to. Is that something you would have wanted to do, or are you wanting this to be a 100% solo run?
I mean, it's not 100% because I got Sammy and Ren with me. We could go for a walk around the markets, and then they could find us there.
Okay, yeah. Either way, it's fine. No matter what, you guys will still be able to purchase from
specifically what they wanted. We can just say,
yeah. The how you acquire your items isn't necessarily important. You guys could have just been super kind and read their minds and got them exactly what they wanted for Christmas. But now that you're all reconvened, what do you do with your time? For the record, it is just now starting to have the sun rising in the east, cascading a long shadow from the buildings into the streets of Suzail.
Sammy would still like to make a trip to the Coster.
Okay. Which
If
one?
at all possible.
The Thousand Heads? The one that you're aware of?
The one on the other side of town, or
No, it's on the east side of town.
oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it's 45. 45. So just to the east, down that road a little bit. And who's that cutie that you guys were flirting with at the trading Coster last time?
Cassian.
Cassian. Yeah, I was going to my notes.
Look at that. She knows exactly who she was flirting with last time.
She did. It's funny because I had it.
Keeps a tally.
I had it bolded in my session notes.
That guy who kept lying about how the mail worked.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
As you reconvene and make your way over to the Thousand Heads Trading Coster, the stables are full. Wagons sitting outside, completely empty. The barn doors locked tight. And the main, what you would assume is the office building that you never went into last time, has the curtains closed. How do you proceed?
I'm not going in.
You're not going in?
No.
You don't want to be accused of mail fraud again or something like that?
Is that what I was accused of?
I don't remember.
Well, that's what you were accusing someone of. And by someone, I mean
Oh no, he
Cassian.
was like, he was going to send some poor person to Monroe to get infected without any knowledge of what was going on. And then he said that all the mail is like magically sent or something like that.
I don't remember that. Anyways,
I'll probably knock on the door and enter.
Okay.
Let my eyes adjust.
as you knock on the door and feel at the handle, try to enter, you find that it's locked.
Since Rin worked for the Thousand Head Trading Costa right before she left for Monroe, is there any way that she would have a key door?
You wouldn't have a key on your person, but you would know that Cassian wasn't always the most responsible, and because he had a poor memory and would often leave his keys at home, he kept a spare underneath of a rock in kind of the garden area just outside of one of the buildings. And so if you did want to get in, you could go over there and pick it up, and as you lift up the rock, the key pressed deeply into the dirt is still there.
Let's just not take too much of whatever you're trying to do here and return this when we're done.
Yeah, that's fine. It's just a couple minutes and then, yeah.
Do you mind the company?
That's fine.
As you unlock the door to the trading coster and creak open to peer inside, it is dark. The wooden desk greets you just on the other side of the door, papers strewn about, and several doors branching off from the main office area. You can hear some scurrying around in one of the side rooms, shuffling.
Like rat shuffling or bigger than a rat shuffling?
Bigger than a rat shuffling.
Rin is going to pull a scarf out of her bag and tie it up.
And I pull up my turtleneck and
she's also going to give him one of these.
and gonna pick the door that Sammy thinks that the scurrying was coming from behind.
Okay.
And gonna listen, see if he hears it, or not see, but determine if he hears anything else.
Give me a perception check.
Ooh, come on. Okay, that's better.
You hear heavy breathing.
Look at Ren. All right, so I'm hoping what she understood was 1, 2, 3, go in.
Yeah.
And so I'll do that. I'll have my dagger out. And then I'll do 1, 2, 3, and we'll kick in the door and come around the corner to see who's heavy breathing. Oh,
Fuck. Okay,
okay. That sucks.
Oh, dude, get fucked.
Yeah.
Yee. Papa, what's behind the door?
Okay.
What the?
Hold on. So, as you come around the door, dagger out, and it's dark, and you just hear "We're being robbed!" and a shovel comes down and bonk right onto your head.
What the hell?
And
Cassian, is that you?
and the heavy breathing. Who are you?
This is Rin and my friend Sammy.
Oh my god, why do you have masks on? Are you trying to give me a heart attack?
I heard shuffling. I was nervous that maybe
Why are you hitting me in the head?
You came in with a knife.
we thought
We
you
knocked
might
on
have
the
been
door and you
infected.
didn't say anything.
We were in lockdown. There's no one's supposed to be out and about.
So if the purple dragon knights came up to your door and knocked up, you'd hit them in the head with a shovel too?
On the inside door? Yes, of course. I'm not not going to the front door.
I knocked the
But
shovel out of his
Cassian,
hand.
And
Who
you can
knows about?
and you can smell alcohol on his breath. He has clearly been drinking from the reserves of whatever was probably going to be shipped out, taking advantage of the lockdown times.
That's fair.
After I knocked the shovel out of his hand, grab him by the collar. He's like, I just need you to do something. Christ.
Oh, that was 12 points of bludgeoning damage, in case I didn't.
Yeah, no,
Okay,
yeah,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
I got that. Yeah. I
Yeah,
figured.
your head hurts a little bit.
Yes. Grab him by
Um,
the collar, and I'll put him in front of his books. How much have you been drinking?
2
2 barrels? Because that's what you smell like right now.
bottles, but still.
Oh, Cassian.
Have you talked to anybody from Monroe? Is the coster still there?
I mean, is it physically standing? I would assume so.
How about Maya?
Maya's alive and well.
Good.
God. All right. And I'll begin pulling out notes from my book. These need to go to Maya. And then I need you to send something to Evening Star. If there's a coster there.
Who the hell do you think is going to be delivering these messages? No one's getting in or out of the city.
Well, I'm sure you can find a way, Cassian.
This is gonna be quite costly.
How costly?
And he kind of regurgitates in his mouth a little bit, swallows it.
Gross,
Ugh.
dude. Gross. Just let it out.
Don't pretend like you've never been there before.
Yeah, but I don't do it in front of people.
My reaction was out of character.
No, you're okay.
Then you haven't really lived.
Well, I'll probably have to procure someone of the shadier sort, so it'll be... Well, I'll just think of a nice even round number, 500 gold pieces during this time of war, really. If you want
Not
these
wrong.
messages delivered. Arsus and Riker, are you guys just hanging out outside in Herc? Yeah? Eating a sandwich from the Adventurers Guild? He left you with like a pastrami on the go?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
sweet,
nice.
yeah. Bet.
I think 500 gold's fair, don't you?
No, I think that's expensive.
Well, what you are asking is extremely dangerous. The odds of the message even reaching Evening Star is probably pretty low. How about this? How about you pay me 500 gold pieces? 250 of it will be refundable if they make it there alive. If they die on the way, then I'll give the remaining 250 gold to their family. Insurance, we'll call it.
No, that's fine.
We can afford it. If this is something that matters
can.
to you, Sammy.
What's so important anyways? It's not...
Rin, like, from behind Sammy's like, don't even.
Don't. Just
You know,
Fine.
there's magical means that you could use that would probably be cheaper. If you could find somebody that could cast sending. I know someone. I could tell you who they are and where they're at for maybe just...
I just need to make sure that somebody is taken care of. So then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to entrust you with this, and when times return back to normal, to send it out.
Okay.
Don't
What
lose
is
it.
what is this?
I'll take 200 gold out of my pocket.
Okay.
With the explicit instruction that it is to make it to my mother in Evening Star.
What a
Once,
fucking cheapie. No, I'm just kidding.
All I got on me. Damn it.
Okay, so Rin is not deducting 200 gold from hers. This is straight
No.
from Sammy's coffers.
Yeah, this
Got
is
it.
your own.
Yes.
Okay.
And 200 gold is a lot for a regular civilian.
Well, yeah, but we're not exactly regular anymore.
I know.
He means his
Don't worry
mom's
about
a
everything
regular
else afterwards.
civilian. Alrighty.
Oh.
He takes the parcel. I'll make sure this is well taken care of, and as soon as we're back to normal, I will make sure that it's on the first carriage out of here. Is that all you came here for? Or can I go rest off this hangover?
Oh, you mean crack open another case? Go for it.
No, I'm not gonna be drinking for a little bit. I feel quite ill, actually.
Keep that shovel nearby.
I'll be sure to put the key back. Sorry.
Gonna have to find a different rock. You can hear him mumble as he wanders into the back room again. Lock the door on your way out.
Got it.
As you all make it back out into the courtyard.
Oh, well, everything all right? You do whatever business you needed to do there. He didn't try to pull one over you, did he?
You definitely heard the heavy pong
Bonk.
of the metal shovel conking Sammy, and even probably the loud cursing of Sammy afterwards.
Yeah. You see me rubbing a knot
It
on
would
my
sound
head.
like it's through the
Yeah.
danger, and Rin would have called us if she needed us.
Mm-hmm.
We gave Cassian a bit of a fright. That's all.
Ha. Deserved it, coward. What did you do anyway?
Just had to drop off some notes and take care of some business. That's all.
All right, I won't pry. But
Okay.
if you want to tell us about it, you're more than welcome to, Sammy. You're among friends.
That will come with time. So, all you need to know is nothing nefarious.
Phew.
Well, with the city on lockdown and we're just waiting to hear from the crown, we have our things. What do we do?
I'd say let's just go slum it at some place for brunch, but I don't know if we can do that.
I don't think we can. It's all locked down.
But the castle isn't. We could just go back to the castle, and they've got chefs, right? And they probably check things pretty thoroughly there.
There's still
Sure.
the Horn Gate.
Don't we
Oh,
take an
you want to go
opportunity
check
to say
out
hi
the
to your
Horn
mom?
Gate? Yeah. But it's still pretty early.
As
May not
your
get another chance.
That's true. Yeah, actually, tennis would open up to us, probably. You guys want to hang out there? It's pretty nice. Better baths than the castle, even.
That does sound pretty nice.
I would prefer that. Yes.
Hell yeah. Well, we could check out the gate, and then that's a long walk. Probably be pretty sweaty by then. Perfect time to come back for a morning bath.
Sure. Alrighty.
How far of a walk is the gate from the trading coster?
It's on the
It's
entirely
complete
opposite
other
end of
side.
town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you say it's a long enough walk for a potential short rest so I can use some hit dice from the shovel of maiming?
We can stop
No.
to take a rest somewhere, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it'll take you a whole hour, especially with the streets being completely empty. You'd probably be able
Okay.
to make it there, in 20 minutes.
Oh wow, okay, that's fine, no worries.
But yeah, if you wanted to sit in the courtyard for a second and eat a sandwich and take a swig from your
alright,
skin, okay.
That's
I want
what-
to see.
that's what
if
the
we go
other
by the
place is for.
fountain. Is the fountain the royal fountain? Is that's along the promenade, right? Which we could take to the gate.
Give me a second. I mean, there's there's several large fountains throughout all of the expensive side.
I just want to cast detect poison and disease and see if the water's infected.
Oh,
Nice.
yeah. So like right at number 37 on the map along the promenade, as you're heading west, you'd see a large I don't know, kind of covered fountain structure, and you would be able to cast detect poison and disease there. You would find that it is still clean.
Oh, that's a relief. Look at those little birds bathing in there. That's clean water right there, I tell you. Well, maybe not clean, but no
As
Non-infected.
clean as it normally is, yeah.
Give a
At this
pissed in that
point.
fountain, Rin.
Well, no. Not quite so
I guess
easy
that's
for
not-
me to.
Right. I hadn't thought about that. Never mind.
There's plenty of other trouble I've gotten up to in this sound, but
As a
never
10-year-old,
that.
right?
Well,
And then at a
yes.
certain point, you went the straight life.
Well, yeah. After I
Oh,
got out of the lockup,
is that how long you were there for?
not,
Something you did when
not
you were
from
10?
10 to. No, it was later than that, but it was a few
10
years.
to
No, I went in when I was 14.
oh, so 4 more years, and then you got out. How recently?
It was a long time ago.
Okay, so if you got out a long time ago, that's maybe 6,
Like-
8, 10,
15 years ago, Kirk.
and you were in there for how long?
Like 3 years.
2 years.
Is the math mathing yet?
He's triangulating your age.
I see the wheels turning in Herc's head. I can see the steam coming out his ears.
So, all right, that was a while ago, but
Mr. I
since
think
then
he's
you've-
trying to ask you how your age.
no. Yes, I suppose I'm interested in that, but I heard you're not supposed to do that.
It's
I
fine,
don't-
really.
I don't see anything
I'm
wrong with
33.
it. You're 33?
Yeah,
You don't look 33.
I know. Luck of the draw on that, I guess.
And you've been to prison
And
Wow.
I've been to prison.
this whole time. We should have been trading tips on self-care, because I think you've done a good job.
Thank you, Herc.
Yeah.
What is going on?
I really thought you were
We're
like
walking.
25.
Sammy gets a little further ahead because
He
the
asks you a
conversation's
half
getting a
elf. How
little
old are
awkward
you?
for him.
If it's okay to ask.
Uh,
Maybe it's rude to ask forest half-elves their age, too.
Oh, I'm 20.
Only 20.
Yeah, I was born right at the end of the war.
All right. Well,
And Herc? How old are you, if I may ask?
Kirk's got to think about it.
He did write it down on his character sheet.
yeah, he's doing the math.
So
This
if I
thing's
was
building up
a
again.
toddler from this age to this age, and then I was a young child from this age to this, how old would I be now?
Yeah, if I was 10 when I started wrestling,
29. I know.
Good
It's,
age.
oh, well, I can't believe it's taking me this long to get started, you know. I mean, the wrestling thing, that was it. But I did that for so long, and you know, I've finally, with this adventure, I've been able to go out and do some pretty crazy things, I think.
I'd agree.
I should have started a lot earlier. Like, Arsis, you're only 20 and the amount of things you've seen already. Can you imagine how different your life is, or will be? You were hidden away in Monroe for so long.
At this point, Arsis does kind of like take a step back and probably starts to cry. puts her face into Ardu's like wing joint or something.
Oh no. I thought being young was a good thing. It's what did I do? What
Rin goes to Arsis and like rubs her back a little. Like sometimes seeing things when you're young, it's the emotions are a little higher, right?
Oh yes.
Arsis will look up at Miss Rin, probably like grab her and like weep on her shoulder again. There's no hope for Sasha. She's gone. Too far gone. What?
Oh
We're too
come on,
late.
we don't know that. We don't know what's happened
Once
to
Standerhouse figures
Monroe.
out how to use this echo, I'm sure he'll take care of
That
Sasha for
too.
us.
Think of that. Think of, you know, Sammy was able to do that just to Riker, but think of that on a grand scale. Might be as if nothing but our great deeds ever happened.
Calliope and Quintus are gonna die for what they've done.
Yeah. Cultists, man. It sucks.
She's one of those monsters now, though, Ren. She's gone.
Oh
I'm
no,
sorry
did
you
you
had to
give her
see
the
that.
orb thing? Or...
Was it? When did this happen?
Mortimer has her.
Hmm.
Like just now? Were you...
Yeah.
Christ. That's...
He's using her
Well-
for experimenting. I tried to let her go, save her, but they wouldn't let me.
I mean,
She's stuck down there.
That's kind of messed up. Is she in pain?
I don't know.
Well, what did Mortimer say? Riker, you were there.
He is performing experiments. I'll say this: he wouldn't cause any unnecessary pain. That's all I'll really say.
That doesn't sound comforting at all.
Well, would you prefer I lie?
No.
There's
Look,
only a shred of her
Persis,
left.
don't lose hope on this.
I'm going to destroy the fungus. That's my hope now.
Okay. And we'll be right there with you.
So, Hart,
Yeah.
you should go see your mom.
As
Oh,
you,
we'll see her. Let's check out this gate.
as
Back
if
to
almost
business.
on cue, you hear bong, 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 bong,
Oh,
bong,
no.
bong. You hear bells starting to cascade, ringing throughout all of the city, signifying
An
the
attack.
yes, an attack, or the city is under siege. Where do you go?
We're already on our way to the gate. Our sister will look at Ardu and then climb up on him for the first time.
Elves.
Hell's bells, baby.
Here we go.
Let's go kill some fungus.
Okay.
And just start riding towards the gate.
Just
Oh,
because
you're riding the dragon?
Yeah.
Well, I can't let that.
Get
Summon
done,
Halong
boy.
Halong a day.
Not in the
You and
desert
the
anymore.
the camel in the city.
It doesn't matter that we're not in the desert. It just you need to summon Halong a day.
Not need to get
You know,
that.
honestly, it needs to be a moose. Mooses are badasses in battle.
Maybe
I
it's
mean,
a
yeah.
maybe it's a war elephant.
I
You
don't
could-
think you can do that yet.
Maybe. I did notice with the new edition that the spell is a lot better in the new edition. Where like the hit points scale with your level, and you can do special maneuvers with your mount, and besides just name it and flavor it in different ways. But
yeah, I mean,
something we could look into in the future.
yeah. I don't know. We'll talk about it here after the session for just a brief minute. I want you guys to be able to see what you're going to be walking into the next session.
Oh, okay.
As you make it to the Horn Gate, you see dozens of purple dragon knights formed in a half circle around the closed gate. The portcullis is down, and there are makeshift tables and chairs made into small barricades with guards with their crossbows aiming down the slats of the portcullis. You can even see out into the entryway, the large 60-80 foot walls on either side. You can see makeshift wooden spikes heading out, kind of funneling them towards the gate. You see people yelling down from top the towers, and one of the last things that you see is a large green cloud smack into the portcullis, and the cloud of spores trickles in through, and you can see the crossbowmen that were looking down kind of peer at each other and fire their bolts at each other. Now I will transfer you guys to the map. You are in the lower right hand corner, which is the promenade. Can you guys see everything okay?
Yep.
Everybody has
Yeah.
vision? Okay.
They are hopelessly outnumbered.
As you are getting closer, you can see blood trails from the gate into 2-3 of the buildings along the sides. You see guards posted up outside of each of the buildings, and you can hear people shouting from the walls. as the commander riding a horse back and forth between the troops. You can hear them saying, "A big one's coming. We must hold fast." And that is where we will pick up next section. But it is no longer nighttime. It is daylight.
Freshly morning.
It is freshly morning, but I wanted us
The
to
map
see.
is pretty like dark. I love it. It looks
Yeah.
like nighttime.
Well, one moment as I. Okay. Am I not? Oh, map layer. There we go. Send it back.
There we go.
Hey.
There we go. Now it's daytime. Anyways, we'll pick up there next time.
Cool.
Battle time.